Today I want to show you how to use the wet on wet watercolor technique to create a background for your no-tan design. You're going to need a nice soft brush, some clean water, and a palette with liquid watercolor already on it. Liquid watercolor is a special kind of watercolor that artists use because it has really vibrant colors. Here's an example of what the bottle looks like, and you can see this one's pretty old. Liquid watercolor enables you to get nice bright colors that mix really well with other colors. The first step is going to be to get your paper wet. So you're just going to use your clean brush and a little bit of water. And you want to make sure that your paper is wet enough that it looks shiny, but it doesn't run all over the table. So some water, not too much, and move quickly. If you keep brushing the paper, you're going to get the paper to fall apart and make little balls of paper, and you don't want to do that. Then you can start with whichever color you want. I'm going to start with a magenta, and I'm just going to put down some color there. I know that blue mixed with magenta is going to make kind of a purple when it mixes. So I can kind of put some purple in, or blue in there to make those blend into violet. I'm going to rinse my brush before going to yellow because I don't want to get the yellow dirty with other colors. And then I can put some yellow in there. The point here is that you don't want to do too much with the brush. You want to let the colors just gradually bleed into one another. So you can start to see how that's happening over here in this little section. I didn't do anything over here, and the water and the paper fibers are kind of working together with the paint to make this nice little pattern around the edge. So what you're going to have, if you use all three colors, you're going to end up with kind of a tie-dye effect. If you choose to just use a couple of the colors, then you're going to have, of course, a different effect. But it's really up to you how you want to do this. Just be careful that you don't do too much with your brush. You want to just let the color sit on there. And you can even see here where this kind of cool pattern is starting to develop in the middle with the yellow. And that's just influenced by how much water is on the paper. So as you go, you're going to just keep adding more water to your paper. Again, not too much, because you don't want the paper to get weak and fall apart. Well, you can just blop some color on there. I'm going to change over to red, or magenta rather, see what that looks like. So there's this like fireworks of color, which is pretty cool. Just be careful as you're working that you're considerate to other artists, and don't fling this paint around, because somebody sitting next to you may well be working on something very different and they don't want liquid watercolor all over their work. So just continue until you have filled up the paper with color spots the way you want it to be. Just don't stir too much, because if you do, then all the colors are going to run together, and that's kind of not the point. Okay? All right, have fun with this, and we'll let this dry, and tomorrow you'll be able to work with it to put your no-tan design pieces down.